He has since lost his ride in that truck and has opened the door wide open for 3 other drivers to vie for that Golden Ring Championship. Let's take a look at who those 3 championship contenders are. This championship preview is being brought to you by Hayward, America's #1 pool water systems, and by Big Daddy's barbecue sauces and spices. Who's your daddy? They've been battling all season long, and now 3 drivers have locked their sights on winning the coveted title of being the 2001 champion of the Mechanix Speed Truck Challenge. Our first contender has been nipping at the heels of former points leader Chris Hines for most of the season, and now Troy DeCure has the opportunity to take his points lead towards a first-time championship.
Once the green flag drops, we're here to go racing. We're here to win. You know, we're not here for second. We're here to win. So, you know, even though we are running for the championship, we're going to race like we always do, you know. No holding back. We're going for it.
Jeff Davis, who's a former Winston West competitor, brings his years of racing experience to this points battle. But it's been a long time coming since this seasoned veteran has captured any crown, and that's left him hungry for the title.
You don't get too many chances to go after championships. I mean, championship, you know, you work all year. I would love to get that. My last championship was in 1990, and to have a shot at it again, it's great.
Dave Hartsook is our 3rd contender in this points battle, as he's been one of the most consistent finishers in this year's championship. But in only his 2nd season in this series, a 3rd-place spot on the final podium would be a welcome achievement.
Well, it would be great. Last year I was 9th, and this year's 3rd is kind of unbelievable for a old guy.
Those are the 3 top contenders in tonight's points battle as we move closer to deciding who will walk off with this year's title. This championship preview has been brought to you by Hayward, America's #1 pool water systems, and by Big Daddy's barbecue sauces and spices. Who's your daddy?
Folks, if you like barbecue, you gotta love Big Daddy.
I like mine mild.
And I like it hot.
Hey, I like the mustard on the Johnsonville broth.
Who's your daddy? Big Daddy. Look for all of Big Daddy's gourmet food products at your local Safeway, Albertsons, and Walmart Supercenters. If you don't see it, tell them to get it. The official barbecue sauces and spices of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Yavapai Downs, West Coast NASCAR Speed Truck Challenge, and the California Speedway. Big Daddy's. It's lip jamming good.
When you take a look at an engine out of a NASCAR Craftsman truck, you're looking at a pretty hefty price tag of $40,000 to $50,000. But for a fraction of the cost, Wayne's Engines of Riverside, California is providing racers in the Mechanix Speed Truck Challenge with a very affordable and powerful means of competing in this vibrant truck series. Mark and Matt Gottfried of Wayne's tell us more.
A lot of the guys at Wayne's have come from racing backgrounds, and we've had friendships, so they came to us when the series first started and asked us if we'd be interested in helping the series out, and we really want to help the racers. So we agreed that we would rebuild the engines whenever they needed to keep them exactly the way they came from the factory, and we would build everybody's the same no matter what.
Tell me about the cost of these engines and what comes with some of the internals with these motors.
But basically at Wayne's, we charge the racers $650 to freshen them up. They're basically stock engines except for the camshafts, and it's amazing that they stay together.
How much will the engine cost brand new?
Brand new, the engines run about $2,500.
How often will they need to rebuild these engines?
The average guy will bring their engine back to Wayne's about once a year.
The even playing field, which is created by a very strict set of engine rules, is also kept in place by the use of carefully positioned seals to prevent any tampering by competitors.
Hi, I'm Matt Godfrey, and I just wanted to show you what makes the Mechanix Speed Truck Challenge one of the best series in racing today. These engines are sealed to keep everybody at the same playing level. No one can get into these engines except me or my brother Mark. This is a look at some of the parts that we put in the speed truck engines. We use name brand quality parts, gaskets, engine bearings, timing chains, cam bearings, rings, oil pump, and the intake manifold gasket and the head gaskets come from General Motors.
We use only the finest name brand quality parts, the same which go into speed truck motors, go in our everyday rebuilds.
So you guys aren't just racing exclusive, you guys will deal with anything engine-wise.
Actually, we don't solicit the racing engines. Our main business is the everyday cars and trucks that you see on the freeway.
Getting the job done and getting it done right. That's what it's all about. What you need is the real stuff. Mechanix wear gloves, whether it's here Or here. Mechanics wear gloves make you want to work on something. They fit well, and unlike other gloves, they're not bulky, so you can get into those hard-to-reach places. You get the job done and get it done right. And after all, that's what it's all about. Get the real stuff. Mechanics wear gloves. Now available at Napa Auto Parts, AutoZone, Pep Boys, CarQuest, and CSK Auto.
The Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge is being brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Keep that engine alive. Easy Up. The world's fastest shelters, the original shade. K&N Filters. You can feel the power in the air. Frank's Radio. There's only one way to do two ways, and that's Frank's way. And by Portacool. Portable cooling anywhere. Welcome back to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we take a look outside of our From Dodge chopper cam hovering over the bull ring as we're just moments away from the start of our 100-lap main event with the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge. Well, let's now take a look at our Turboliner West starting lineup for tonight. On the pole position in truck 23, it's Spencer Clark with Darren Young in truck 11, who is outside. On row 2, it's Nathan Murth in truck 76 and Scott Ruschenberg in truck 55. Lee Hatch is driving number 91 with Scott Saunders in the number 4 truck. Row 4 is made up of TJ Clark in the 01 and Ron Peterson in truck 2. Row 5, it's Randy Brown in truck number 99 and Danny Williams in number 28. Dan DiGiacomo in truck number 31 and Troy DeCure in truck number 10. Jeff Davis drives the number 1 truck with Donnie Goodwin in number 33 to his outside. Jim Van Gordon in truck 51 and Richard Franz in truck number 7. It's Dave Hartsook in the 30 truck and Jimmy Perry in number 26. Bobby Sayers drives number 16 and Kerry Steen in truck number 37. Casey Kingsland in the Chevy 88 and Kenny Smith in truck number 43. Gary Bryant drives number 94 and Jeff Roachlew in truck number 13. And the final row is made up of Chris Francis in truck 34 and Jerry Bullis in truck number 6. Well, we have 6 onboard cameras to take us along for the ride tonight with 100 laps here at the bull ring. In the number 1 truck with Jeff Davis, it's the Big Daddy's RaceTruckRental.com cam. With Scott Saunders in truck 4, it's also Big Daddy's along with Hayward America's number 1 full water systems cam. Troy DeCure also gives us a ride with the Big Daddy's Hayward America's number 1 full water systems cam. It's Dave Hartsook in the truck 30 with the Castaways Lucas Oil Products and Applebee's cam. Dan DiGiacomo in truck 31 with the Russo's Pet Experience Turboliner West cam. And Nathan Murth also takes us for a ride with the Turboliner West and Madison and Company cam. Okay, we are set to go green here at the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. John Higley looks over the pack, and it looks like we will go green. And Darren Young, along with Spencer Clark, drag racing along the back straightaway. And let's see who will come up with the lead as they head into turn 3. But almost immediately we got a yellow flag as we have a truck slowing along the front straightaway, and that will bring us to our first caution of the night. In fact, it looks like we will not even complete our very first lap here at the bull ring. The 01 Toyota Tacoma of TJ Clark, there you see stuck on the front straight as he tries to rock the truck back and forth. Reports we are getting is that he may have a driveline failure in that race truck. TJ Clark is the father of our pole sitter Spencer Clark in that number 23 race truck. In fact, TJ Clark himself, a very experienced race car driver who has spent a lot of time in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. In fact, he was part of the very first year of the Craftsman trucks and now finds himself with the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge. And unfortunately, it looks like mechanical problems may take him out of this race. Well, we are high above the bull ring with our chopper cam, and it looks like we will have a complete restart when we come back. So we still have over 100 laps of racing left here at the bull ring. We'll be back with more. Stay with us. The Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge is being brought to you by Linux and by Speedway Specialty Products. Top quality products for all your racing needs. Hallmark Trailers, manufacturer of steel frame trailers of quality. The Kuiper Trailer Center, where we specialize in meeting your needs. And by GalsonProducts.com. Total Tool Management Systems.
Folks, if you like barbecue, you gotta love Big Daddy.
I like mine mild.
And I like it hot. Hey, I like the mustard on the Johnsonville broth.
Who's your daddy? Big Daddy. Look for all of Big Daddy's gourmet food products at your local Safeway, Albertsons, and Walmart Supercenters. If you don't see it, tell them to get it. The official barbecue sauces and spices of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Yavapai Downs, West Coast NASCAR Speed Truck Challenge, and the California Speedway. Big Daddy's. It's lip jamming good.
The Mechanix Wear Speed Truck Challenge is being brought to you by Goodyear Eagle Tires, #1 in racing. By Trick Racing Fuel, we fuel your fun. Dale Chase Materials Handling, the Material Handling Solutions Company. Fine Line Science and Graphics, your one-stop corporate shop. And by King Taco. For the best tacos in LA, call 1-800-KING-TACO. Welcome back to the Bull Ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. J.R. Ibarra bringing you all the lap-by-lap action with the Mechanix Wear Speed Truck Challenge. We've not completed one lap, so we will have a complete restart. But T.J. Clark in the 01 Toyota Tacoma has to exit the speedway. Does not look like he will be back in action. There you see out of the tailgate of Scott Saunders in the number 4 truck. Scott Saunders, who's had a lot of top 10 finishes here at 2001, as we're just about set to go green for the second time tonight. John Higley, our starter, waves the green flag, and we are underway with 100 laps of racing with the Mechanix Wear Speed Truck Challenge. Spencer Clark and Darren Young drag race towards turn 3. Side by side as they come out of turn number 4, as you see above the Bull Ring here in our chopper cam, and it's still side by side racing with those 2 race trucks. Go back inside the view from Scott Saunders' cam. And Spencer Clark in truck number 23, the AFX Motorsports Ford, now takes the lead as they cross the start-finish line. Darren Young to his outside, and Nathan Mirth in truck 76 running 3rd. Scott Saunders once again providing us that view, and back up top again in our chopper cam. And now Spencer Clark with a decisive lead, about a half, almost a full truck length, as they dip into turn number 1. Spencer Clark, an interesting story on this young driver. Only 14 years old. Yes, you heard me correct. 14 years old, but he's a very experienced young man, having a lot of driving experience with the Legends cars here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jeff Davis in the Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauces and Spices Chevy number 1. He is one of our points contenders, as we saw earlier tonight. Obviously, he needs to come up with a very strong finish. In fact, he really wants to win this race very badly to cap off the 2001 season and hopefully come up with a championship. Once again, back up front, as we mentioned, Spencer Clark, the young driver, as we now head into the cab of Nathan Mirth in truck number 76. Nathan won a race at Irwindale Speedway just a few weeks back. Mirth currently running 3rd. And there we see Lee Hatch in truck number 91 running 4th with our top 5 drivers. And it looks like Randy Brown in truck number 99 rounds out our top 5 here with our first 5 laps at the Bull Ring. But it's still Spencer Clark's. Clark just recently won the national runoff for the Legend Car Series here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So here's a young man with a lot of savvy, a lot of driving experience, despite the fact that he's only 14 years old. Now let's go inside the cab of Troy DeCure. Troy DeCure with the Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauce and Hayward, America's #1 pool water systems cam, providing us that view. He's also sponsored by Made For You products out of Pinion Hills, California. Troy DeCure, our points leader, as we mentioned, and there you see Jeff Davis right in his gun sights. And those 2 guys are going to battle out all night long to see who comes up with a 2001 Series championship. Dan DiGiacomo also a part of that pack, as now DeCure closes in on that back bumper of Jeff Davis, now looking inside as they come out of turn number 4. We're back up top again with our chopper view, and now it looks like DeCure will get a fender and get a good run as they head into turn number 3. And DeCure makes the pass as they head out of 4. So DeCure is now trying to make his way towards the front. And Davis will now see the tailgate, if you will, of Troy DeCure. As we now look outside the backside of Dan DiGiacomo, there you see in the sights of Troy DeCure in truck number 31. Dan DiGiacomo, our Rookie of the Year contender for 2001. We are back up front. Darren Young continues to follow the 23 truck of Spencer Clark. It's amazing to think that Spencer Clark can't even legally drive himself to the speedway. But here he is leading this 100-lap main event. In fact, he is now coming up on lap traffic early here in this race. So let's see if this young driver can continue to show some of these veterans in the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge how to get around this racetrack. Spencer Clark, this is his home track at LVMS, the Bull Ring, if you will, specifically. Has spent a lot of time here, has run several laps here, obviously, and shows why he's the national champion in the Legends Car division. We have a whole pack of trucks there in positions 4, 5, and 6. It appears that the 91 of Lee Hatch, along with Randy Brown, also trying to make their way towards the front of the pack here at the Bull Ring. Well, we got to step aside for a short break as we take a look outside of our chopper cam. You're watching the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge from the Bull Ring. The Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge is being brought to you by Turboliner West. Faster, tougher, better spray-in bed liners. RaceTruckRental.com. Arrive and drive. Wayne's Engines, the largest engine rebuilder in the Inland Empire. Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauces and Spices. Who's Your Daddy? And by Champion Awards and Specialties. Distinctive gifts and awards that exceeds expectations.
Getting the job done and getting it done right. That's what it's all about. What you need is the real stuff. Mechanics Wear Gloves. Whether it's here or here. Mechanics Wear Gloves make you want to work on something. They fit well, and unlike other gloves, they're not bulky, so you can get into those hard-to-reach places. You get the job done and get it done right. And after all, that's what it's all about. Get the real stuff. Mechanics Wear Gloves. Now available at Napa Auto Parts, AutoZone, Pep Boys, CarQuest, and CSK Auto.
That's pretty spectacular. So he ran up there and run into the back of Jeff. Yeah, 4. Yeah, that wasn't too cool. Does it feel bad or anything? All right.
Radio communications between drivers and spotters in the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge is a crucial element for every team. And that's where people like Frank Garcia of Frank's Radio Service steps in with his expertise.
Well, we sell communication equipment for the race cars, and we put communication into the race truck itself, and we set up radios for the spotters. We also do scanner rentals, and we actually do rentals for the race cars too, for extra crew member radios and stuff like that. So we set them up with radios.
So obviously your service is very vital to racers out on the track.
Oh yeah, we're at most of the events with the speed truck. We're there every weekend when they run, and we're all over California at different events and selling parts and also fixing radios that break and cables and push-to-talks and all those kind of goodies.
Jim Van Gordon is one of many racers who has sought out the help of Frank's Radio Service to assist with his two-truck racing team.
Outstanding performance on his behalf. If we have a problem, he's there at the track to handle it quickly, as prompt as he can, and he always worries about the racer and the radios.
To get more info on any radio communication questions, whether it's for racing or commercial applications, contact Frank's Radio Service at 800-869-9712 or visit them on the web at www.franksradio.com. The Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge is being brought to you by Allied Racing Wheels. Wheels built for racing. Wheelwood, high performance disc brakes. Speedway Engineering, Torque Tough. Schoenfeld Headers, the largest circle track header manufacturer in the world. And by Safecraft, safety equipment. Welcome back to Las Vegas as we take a look outside of our chopper cam hovering the Las Vegas Valley. Beautiful night for racing tonight. In fact, most of us not even needing a sweater or jacket as of yet, but I'm sure we might as the evening progresses. There's a look once again at your points leader in the 2001 Series Championship title run with Troy DeCure in that Made For You Products truck number 10. Scott Ruschenberg just in front of Troy. Looks like Troy might have nudged his bumper just a touch, but no harm, no foul. Now Jeff Davis in that number 1 Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauce Chevy has fallen behind by 1 position of Troy DeCure. Looks like he's doing a little bumping and rubbing there with Dan DiGiacomo in the number 31 truck as they head down into turn number 3. And now it looks like Davis has gotten around that 31 truck as they head past the start-finish line. 55 truck ahead of Troy DeCure is Scott Ruschenberg. Ruschenberg out of Arizona as we head back to the front end. Spencer Clark continues to lead this race, and Darren Young trying all he can to catch up to the back bumper of that very young but very experienced driver. There we see some lap traffic of Kerry Sting along with Chris Francis in the number 34 truck. Chris Francis in his very first Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge race tonight has lots of experience in the Grand American Modified Series out of Arizona. Kenny Smith in truck number 43, he will go a lap down. And Darren Young seems to be losing a little bit of ground to that 23 Ford, the AFX Motorsports truck being driven by Spencer Clark. Now Clark has his sights on the number 6 lime green truck being driven tonight by Jerry Bullis. Bullis has seen some action here in the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge. Very experienced dirt track racer. And it looks like Jerry will go a lap down to the youngster. Headed to turn 1, followed by Darren Young is Spencer Clark. Talking to Spencer this afternoon, he says he has some really lofty aspirations to try to get himself into Winston Cup and try to be a Winston Cup champion sometime in the future. Back now in Jeff Davis, and we got trouble along the front straightaway, and both of our points leaders almost get collected in the fracas. Kenny Smith gets turned around, has some damage to the right rear quarter panel, and boy, that was a scary scene for both of our points leaders. Well, that will take us to caution, and we've got to step aside for another break. You're watching the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge from the Bull Ring in Las Vegas. The Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge is being brought to you by Graphic Dimensions. We create desire. RaceTruckMedia.com. 5-Star Gas and Gear, the basics of success. AC Dalco, when the right way is the only way. And by B&M Racing and Performance Products.
Folks, if you like barbecue, you gotta love Big Daddy.
I like mine mild.
And I like it hot.
Hey, I like the mustard on the Johnsonville broth.
Who's your daddy? Big Daddy. Look for all of Big Daddy's gourmet food products at your local Safeway, Albertsons, and Walmart Supercenters. If you don't see it, tell them to get it. The official barbecue sauces and spices of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Yavapai Downs, West Coast NASCAR Speed Truck Challenge, and the California Speedway. Big Daddy's. It's lip jamming good.
The Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge is being brought to you by Empire Entertainment Productions, Champ Pans, Quality Racing Products, Fuel Safe Racing Cells, #1 in racing cells, Turkey Racing Fabrication, Professional Aluminum Racing Seats, and by Polydyne Performance Coatings, Performance Proven Protection. Welcome back to Las Vegas as we have a beautiful night with our chopper cam just floating down the strip. Always a lot of great action there along the strip in Las Vegas, and a lot of action here at the Bull Ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're just about 12 miles outside of the strip here at the Glitter City. Spencer Clark continues to lead this race, followed by Darren Young and Lee Hatch. Randy Brown in position number 4, and it looks like Ron Peterson rounding out our top 5. We're back to green. Spencer Clark has been your leader since the drop of the green flag to begin this 100-lap main event at the Bull Ring. Darren Young now looking to his inside as they dip into turn 1. They come out of 2, and Young just can't get it to stick. But Young has now begun to pressure truck 23 and that young driver of Spencer Clark. So far, Clark showing enough savvy not to let that number 11 truck get by him. Darren Young was our quick qualifier of the night. And now we're looking at Dave Hartsook in truck number 30. That view being brought to us by Castaways Hotel and Casino, Lucas Oil Products, and Applebee's. Dave Hartsook in truck number 30 is also a points contender for the 2001 Series Championship. Looks like he will just kind of maintain that third in point standing in the 9As. He's just a few spots back in the pack. And look, you can see Troy DeCure ahead of him. Troy DeCure, our current points leader here for the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge. Now let's take a look outside of the tailgate of Dan DiGiacomo in truck number 31. And now we're back inside Troy DeCure's truck 10, Made For You Products Ford. DeCure has dropped back a few positions, and now Jeff Davis, the other series points contender, has gained a few positions on DeCure. So as DeCure goes backward, Davis, I should say, goes towards the front. And now Davis obviously trying to put himself in position to come up with a points championship here at LVMS. Once again back up front, and now Darren Young has gotten around Spencer Clark, and Darren Young will lead this race for the first time tonight. Lee Hatch takes up second place in that number 91 Ford. So Darren Young has been working the back bumper all night long of the young driver and Spencer Clark, and finally gets around him. So it continues to be a tight pack of 5 trucks. There you see Ron Peterson now being a part of the equation as all those trucks begin to pass by Chris Francis in the number 34 Dodge. Chris Francis, a veteran of the Grand American Wars, Grand American Modified Wars, I should say, in Arizona. So Lee Hatch now putting some pressure on Darren Young, who's our leader. Lee Hatch, a very strong veteran from the IKF go-karting ranks. And now we take a look at Jeff Davis in the Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauce and Spices truck number 1, that's Chevy. As we mentioned, he's gained a couple of positions on Troy DeCure. Well, we got to step aside for a short break. This will finish off our first half of racing here with the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge. We've got more coming your way, so stay with us.
Did you miss last week's Real-Time Sight and Sound Expo 2002 sale?
Well, don't worry. The tent is gone, but the discounts on all the new models are still the same. Come check out the latest state-of-the-art home theater systems, brand new HD TVs, big screen TVs, DVD players, sound systems, and plasma TVs. All the latest models and all on sale. Save up to $2,000 off on new HD TVs and big screen TVs, but you better hurry because time is running out and you don't want to miss this sale. Real-Time Sight and Sound, Coast Highway, Dana Point. We don't just sell, we satisfy.
I want to be me.
Eastern 9 Pacific.
It's Ford's Thanksgiving Sellathon. This year, Ford sold more cars and trucks in Southern California than anyone. And we're saying thanks by continuing to offer interest-free financing on 2001 and 2002 vehicles. Don't miss the Ford Thanksgiving Sellathon. Make sure you get the car, truck, or SUV you want, because with interest-free financing, these Fords are going fast.
Well, welcome back to the Bull Ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we are back to our second half of action with Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge. Darren Young continues to be our leader here, followed by Lee Hatch, and Spencer Clark continues to run in the 3rd position. Ron Peterson now brings himself up to the 4th position. As you see, Darren Young, our 2000 Series champion, leading this race. Darren Young himself has not been able to win a race here in 2001, and that's been quite a surprise as he had such a fine season last year. But he's had a lot of several top 5, top 10 finishes through most of the season. Not in points contention this year by reason of the fact that he missed a few races earlier in the season while he was trying his hand at the NASCAR Southwest Series. And now Darren Young passing the lap traffic there of Gary Bryant in truck number 94. And now Darren Young begin to open up just a little bit of space between himself and the 91 truck of Lee Hatch. Some more lap traffic being an issue for the top 5 runners currently as we go back inside the truck of Jeff Davis in the Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauces and Spices #1 Chevy. Jeff Davis, as we might have mentioned, a very experienced competitor from the Winston West ranks. Very hungry for a win and very hungry for a title. He's hoping to run the entire 2002 season next year. Once again, taking a look at Dan DiGiacomo's cam, that being brought to us by Russo's Pet Experience and Turboliner West. Dan DiGiacomo, a contender for the 2001 Rookie of the Year championship title, along with Kerry Steen in truck number 37. There you see Kerry. Kerry Steen, a very interesting note about this driver. He comes all the way down from British Columbia to compete in this series, and he's putting himself in the position of being a Rookie of the Year contender here for the 2001 season of the Mechanix Wear Speed Truck Challenge. So Kerry, all the way from British Columbia, it's amazing. I was speaking to him last night during the practice session, and he told me it takes him about 24 hours of driving one way to get down to the southwest area to compete in this series. So you got to give him a lot of credit. Back to Troy DeCure in that number 10 Made For You Products Ford, and he's beginning to struggle just a bit. DeCure has dropped a couple of positions, and according to the information we are receiving, he's really fighting some handling problems right now. Truck getting just a bit loose from what we understand. There may be a problem within the rear end, so he's obviously trying to nurse that truck around this racetrack and not lose any more positions and possibly take him out of contention of the championship. There you see Dave Hartsook just in front of him in his sights as we're back up front to the pack here. Darren Young continues to be your leader with Lee Hatch, and now Ron Peterson in the number 2 from Dodge becomes a contender in that 3rd position. The leader's coming up on some more lap traffic with Jimmy Perry on the outside of Darren Young, and Lee Hatch will follow the number 11 truck down into turn 3. Kenny Smith just in front of our leader as they head out of turn 2. There you see just a little bit of fiberglass flapping in the wind there with Kenny Smith. Well, just a little bit of problems there coming out of turn number 4, and it looks like Jeff Roachlew has a little bit of entanglement and breaks off some fiberglass, and that will take us to caution. So once again, we got to step aside for a short break. You're watching all the action from the Bull Ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The Mechanix Wear Speed Truck Challenge is being brought to you by Parker Pumper Helmets, Race-Made Alternators, all your alternating needs, Crow Enterprises, the ultimate driver restraint system, Fast, Fresh Air Systems Technology, and by PurcellProductions.com for all your editing needs.
This is a pair of Mechanix Wear gloves. This is what they do. This is a pair of Mechanix Wear shoes. This is what they do. These are many of the other Mechanix Wear products. This is how you get them. Wear what the Mechanix wear.
Welcome back to Las Vegas as we take a look at some of the beautiful hotels that reside here at this city, the city that never sleeps. And we still have plenty of action here at the Bull Ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as well. Darren Young continues to be your leader after we just finish off another caution period. Jeff Roachlew in truck number 13 bringing out the yellow flag. It's Lee Hatch and Ron Peterson running second and third behind Darren Young in that Sawyer's Motorsports number 11. Was talking to Darren Young earlier, and he's hoping to run the entire season of 2002 and try to come up with a second points championship. All these trucks are evenly matched. If you've not had the opportunity to check out the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge, what's so great about this series is that it's meant to be a driver's series. Everybody runs the same set of tires, or same type of tires, I should say, as we're once again back inside of Dave Hartsook in truck number 3. Tight pack in front of him with Scott Saunders on the outside of Dave Hartsook. Scott Saunders, another competitor here, running the Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauce and Spices banner for this final race of 2001. But as I was saying, this series, as we see the top 3 contenders here, and it now looks like Ron Peterson will put a fender inside of Lee Hatch as they go into 3. They are side by side, and Peterson will take over that spot. But it just kind of proves the point I was trying to make, in that this is really a driver's series. Everybody runs the equal type of tires, equal type of chassis, and the motor is a spec motor, if you will, 330 horsepower Vortec engine, which makes these trucks quite affordable to race. Maintenance-wise and overall cost-wise, you just can't find a better truck series out there. Now we take a look at Dave Hartsook. Hartsook in that truck 30, sponsored by Hamsook Construction. And Dave just getting a little bit of sideways as they come out of turn 2. Troy DeCure continues to run behind that truck number 30. There you see just briefly the front brake rotors of Dave Hartsook. Maybe we'll get another look here as they come into turn number 1. There you see they're glowing a bright red, so maybe just a little bit of handling difficulties for Hartsook as he's having to use a lot of brake to handle that race truck. High above the raceway here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Looks like we got to step aside for another break. You're watching all the action here with Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge.
Folks, if you like barbecue, you gotta love Big Daddy.
I like mine mild.
And I like it hot.
Hey, I like the mustard on the Johnsonville broth.
Who's your daddy? Big Daddy. Look for all of Big Daddy's gourmet food products at your local Safeway, Albertsons, and Walmart Supercenters. If you don't see it, tell them to get it. The official barbecue sauces and spices of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Yavapai Downs, West Coast NASCAR Speed Truck Challenge, and the California Speedway. Big Daddy's. It's lip jamming good.
Welcome back to Las Vegas as we see the Castaways Hotel and Casino on the Boulder Strip. Castaways providing us with some fine hotel rooms here in our stay at Las Vegas for this weekend. High above the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, we're back inside the number 10 Made For You Products Ford of Troy DeCure. Troy DeCure continues to handle a hill-handling truck, if you will, with Dave Hartsook continuing. There you hear just a little bit of change in the RPM there. I think Troy's really having a handful with a very loose race truck right now. Here's a look inside of Nathan Murth's truck. A little bit of a different angle for us as we take a look at Nathan. And let's have a listen to his truck. Everything seems to be okay handling-wise. Murth started in the number 3 position tonight, has fallen back a few positions. That view being brought to us by Turboliner West and Madison and Company. Doesn't look like the truck is handling that bad, but Nathan having dropped back from his 3rd starting position, and it continues to be Darren Young up front, Lee Hatch, and now Jeff Davis has put himself in the number 3 position, so he's gained a couple of spots. This could really play into the championship hopes for Davis and his Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauce number 1 team. Young dipping inside of Jimmy Perry as they come out of turn number 4. Darren Young now kind of setting a nice even pace in this race in that number 11 Sawyer Motorsports Chevy. There you see Lee Hatch in the number 91 Ford. He's ran rather steady through most of the night, running in the top 3 and top 5 through the better part of this main event. Back inside now with Jeff Davis in the Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauce and Spices cam. Davis now trying to look to the inside of Hatch as they dip into turn number 1. So Davis has been working hard to try to put himself in position for that title championship. And as DeCure falls maybe a few spots backward, this falls into the hand of Jeff Davis. Lee Hatch, though, doing all that he can to try to keep that number 1 Chevy right back in his back bumper. And it looks like we got ourselves a spin. I think that is Randy Brown out of turn 2 as we take a look outside of Dan DiGiacomo's back tailgate. DiGiacomo with a Russo's Pet Experience and Turboliner West cam as we are back under caution once again here at the bull ring. Oh, looks like we got a little bit of extra fuel there burning outside of the tailpipe of Randy Brown's truck, but he's just trying to get it fired. Yeah, it sounds like he's back to fire once again. Well, we got to step aside for a short break. You're watching the action here from the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Getting the job done and getting it done right. That's what it's all about. What you need is the real stuff. Mechanix wear gloves, whether it's here or here. Mechanix wear gloves make you want to work on something. They fit well, and unlike other gloves, they're not bulky, so you can get into those hard-to-reach places. You get the job done and get it done right. And after all, that's what it's all about. Get the real stuff. Mechanix wear gloves. Now available at Napa Auto Parts, AutoZone, Pep Boys, CarQuest, and CSK Auto.
Welcome back to Las Vegas as the laps begin to wind down here at the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we take a look outside of our chopper cam continuing to hover along the strip at Las Vegas as we are back inside of the Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauces cam with Jeff Davis in that number 1 Chevy. So Randy Brown brings out another caution here, but we are back under green here at the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Since we've gone to break, Ron Peterson has now taken over the lead with Darren Young trailing in the second position. So we've had another lead change. Ron Peterson, who started 8th, and now he's battling with Darren Young, and Young trying to take that lead back again as they head down the back straightaway. Young takes it wide as they come down the start-finish line, and it will be the number 11 truck to take back the lead, but Ron Peterson, not wanting to give up any ground, continues to run side by side here at the bull ring. Great racing action, hoping that you're enjoying it here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And now it looks like there's some action in position 3 and 4. And we have some contact. Jeff Davis just barely nudges the 91 truck of Lee Hatch, and Hatch finds himself parked right at about the entry of turn number 4. So there was a little bit of bumping and banging going on between Jeff Davis and Lee Hatch, and it looks like it will bring out another caution flag for the night. So Hatch was running a very strong top 3 through most of the night, and it looks like he'll get shuffled back. We got to step aside for a short break. We'll be back with more from the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Folks, if you like barbecue, you gotta love Big Daddy.
I like mine mild.
And I like it hot.
Hey, I like the mustard on the Johnsonville broth.
Who's your daddy? Big Daddy. Look for all of Big Daddy's gourmet food products at your local Safeway, Albertsons, and Walmart Supercenters. If you don't see it, tell them to get it. The official barbecue sauces and spices of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Yavapai Downs, West Coast NASCAR Speed Truck Challenge, and the California Speedway. Big Daddy's. It's lip jamming good.
Welcome back to the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we are still under caution. The last yellow flag being brought out by an incident down in turn 3 and 4 between the truck of Jeff Davis and the 91 truck of Lee Hatch. Both have been sent to the back of the pack, so both had been running very strong within the top 5 through the better part of this race, but now unfortunately take themselves out of contention. We are back to green. Darren Young, your leader, is now being challenged and pressured quite heavily by Ron Peterson in the number 2 from Dodge. Peterson tries to dive into the inside, bumps the back bumper just a touch of that number 11 truck. Now Dan DiGiacomo in truck number 31 is a contender in the top 3 as he's following the leaders as they head into turn number 3. Continues to be Darren Young as they dip down into turn number 1. And now Ron Peterson trying to find a way around that number 11 truck. Peterson now trying to look to the inside, and Scott Ruschenberg now in that 4th position in that number 55 race truck. Peterson now looking to the inside. It looked like Young had a little bit of a wiggle as they came out of turn number 2, and Peterson will take over the lead as they come down the main straightaway. And now Dan DiGiacomo looking to the inside as they dip down into turn 1. They head out of turn 2, and it looks like DiGiacomo fights for that 2nd spot. They continue to run side by side, a little bit of bumping and banging there, but it still continues to be Young as they head past the stripe. There we take a look outside of the backside tailgate of Dan DiGiacomo as they head back down the back straightaway, and now DiGiacomo gets a full fender on the inside of Darren Young as they come down the main straightaway. DiGiacomo will take over the 2nd position. So Dan DiGiacomo in that number 31 truck in contention for the 2001 Rookie of the Year title here for the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge. Was talking to Dan last night, obviously in his first year with the series here. He has come from the SCCA open wheel ranks from some of the Formula series in that racing division. Says he's had a little bit of transition here with the full fendered, full bodied trucks. And I think he's done himself quite well in this series, obviously, as he contends for that rookie title here in 2001. Continues to be Ron Peterson here leading the race. The communication between drivers and spotters in the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge is a crucial element. And we take a closer look at that in our Shop Talk segment with Frank's Radio.
That's pretty spectacular. So he ran up there and run into the back of Jeff. 10-4. Yeah, that wasn't too cool. Does it feel bad or anything? All right.
Radio communications between drivers and spotters in the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge is a crucial element for every team. And that's where people like Frank Garcia of Frank's Radio Service steps in with his expertise.
Well, we sell communication equipment for the race cars, and we put communication into the race truck itself, and we set up radios for the spotters. We also do scanner rentals, and we actually do rentals for the race cars too, for extra crew member radios and stuff like that. So we set them up with radios.
So obviously your service is very vital to racers out on the track.
Oh yeah, we're at most of the events with the speed truck. We're there every weekend when they run, and we're all over California at different events and selling parts and also fixing radios that break and cables and push talks and all those kind of goodies.
Jim Van Gordon is one of many racers who has sought out the help of Frank's Radio Service to assist with his 2-truck racing team.
Outstanding performance on his behalf. If we have a problem, he's there at the track to handle it quickly, as prompt as he can, and he always worries about the racer and the radios.
To get more info on any radio communication questions, whether it's for racing or commercial applications, contact Frank's Radio Service at 800-869-9712 or visit them on the web at www.franksradio.com. Welcome back to the action here at the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as Ron Peterson continues to be your leader, and now Dan DiGiacomo looks to the inside of Peterson as they head into turn number 3. They come down the main straightaway, and DiGiacomo will take over the lead for the first time tonight. So Dan DiGiacomo, your leader, or I should say one of the contenders in the Rookie of the Year title here in 2001. And we got a spin in turn 3 and 4 as you see Darren Young getting sideways. It looks like the truck 94 of Gary Bryant is parked between turns 3 and 4, and that will bring out another caution here at the bull ring. So Dan DiGiacomo, your race leader, with just a few laps remaining here in this 100-lap main event. We got to step aside for a short break. We will wrap up this race. Coming up next, stay with us.
This is a pair of Mechanix wear gloves. This is what they do. This is a pair of Mechanix wear shoes. This is what they do. These are many of the other Mechanix wear products. This is how you get them. Wear what the Mechanix wear.
Yeah, we're high above the strip. Boy, it looks busy down there. Look at all those lights along the strip here in Las Vegas. It just never ceases to amaze me, the amount of people who invade this city. And always a lot of action, and always great action here at the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We only have 3 laps remaining. As you see Dan DiGiacomo coming down, and we are back to green. Ron Peterson in that number 2 from Dodge, doing all he can to try to pressure the rookie. As we head down the back straightaway now, and it looks like Peterson looks to the outside, now looks to the inside as they come out of turn 4. Puts a little fender nudge there on truck 31. So Ron Peterson, who started 8th, now trying to work his way back to the front. There we see a little fender rubbing once again. And Peterson will take over the lead. Peterson makes the pass as they come out of turn number 4. And it looks like Peterson will open up the lead just a bit by a truck length. So Ron Peterson coming down out of turn number 4. And Darren Young trying to make a move, and Peterson takes the win. Boy, what an exciting finish with just a few laps remaining. And a real great shootout between Dan DiGiacomo and Ron Peterson, as Peterson takes the truck sideways coming out of turn number 4. He's awfully excited about this win, I am sure. Well, we will come back to have a chat with our winner, as well as crown a series champion. Stay with us.
Folks, if you like barbecue, you gotta love Big Daddy.
I like mine mild.
And I like it hot.
Hey, I like the mustard on the Johnsonville broth.
Who's your daddy? Big Daddy. Look for all of Big Daddy's gourmet food products at your local Safeway, Albertsons, and Walmart Supercenters. If you don't see it, tell them to get it. The official barbecue sauces and spices of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Yavapai Downs, West Coast NASCAR Speed Truck Challenge, and the California Speedway. Big Daddy's. It's lip jamming good.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway as you take a look at our top 5 as we head down to our Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauce and Spices Winner Circle. Let's talk to our winner as well as crown a champion.
You know what? I'm never going to forget this race. This is probably the hardest race I've ever run in my life. Yeah, we just kept swapping the lead back and forth. Like I said, it would take a couple laps to get the thing going, but man, I'd never driven so hard in my life. It was great.
Well, the other driver who made this really exciting was Dan DiGiacomo in the truck number 31. Dan almost had it, but you got to be pleased with second place.
Yeah, it's our highest finish of the season, and we ended up clinching the Rookie of the Year championship. So it was a great ride. I saw the opportunity to make the pass. There's about 5 laps left, and I took it. And I knew that if anyone would come back, it'd be Ron. But he's probably one of the cleanest racers out here, and with the most experience. So I was in good hands.
Well, Ron Peterson may have won the battle, but Troy DeCure wins the war. Troy, 2001 Series champion, got to feel great.
Feels awesome, man. We've been working awful hard. My dad, I want to thank him. He's been working his little butt off trying to get this done, and we pulled it off. We did it. We're the champions. Feels good.
Troy had a little bit of difficulties tonight mechanically, but you came to the front.
Yeah, we did. We worked hard. We had a drive plate go out, so it was only driving on one wheel.
All right, Troy is now being doused by Scott Saunders, one of his sponsors, along with Jay Rutherford. He's taking a bath. Oh, boy. Troy, this has got to be the best shower you've ever had.
Oh, it's great. I want to thank Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge. This is great. This feels great. I can't wait for the rest of the night to go.
Scott Saunders, you're one of the sponsors on this truck. Talk about your involvement here.
Oh, it's just been one long season, and we've worked hard, real hard. Troy's worked really hard, realizing that he doesn't have to go out and win every race. He's just got to go up, show up, and race tough every race, and that's what he's done all season long. And that's what's brought this championship around this year.
Jay Rutherford overseeing this series, got a good champion here.
Oh, he's a great kid. Boy, he did a hell of a job this year. I mean, yeah, we had a few ups and downs this year, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure
Yeah,
did.
but we kept him legal, kept him running up front, and hell, he pulled it off. Good job, buddy. Good job.
So as Troy DeCure winds up your 2001 Series champion, it is Ron Peterson, your winner tonight in the From Dodge number 2. Dan DiGiacomo running second. Darren Young running third. Scott Ruschenberg with a great run in truck number 55. Troy DeCure in the Made For You Products 10 winding up 5th. Richard Franz running 6th. And Danny Williams 7th. Dave Hartsook 8th. Randy Brown 9th. And Lee Hatch rounds out the top 10. The rest of the finishing order consists of Jim Van Gordon, Kerry Steen, Kenny Smith, Scott Saunders, Jimmy Perry, Bobby Sayers, Jerry Bullis, Gary Bryant, Jeff Roachlew, and Jeff Davis, Spencer Clark, Nathan Mirth, Casey Kingsland, Chris Francis, Donnie Goodwin, and TJ Clark unfortunately was a DNS in addition to a DNF here tonight. Well, that will wrap up the 2001 season here for the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge. Thank you all for being with us through this entire season. We hope to see you all again in 2002. Thank you for joining us. For all of us here at the Mechanics Wear Speed Truck Challenge, I'm J.R. Ibarra. So long, everybody.
Remember how it all started? Back then, we weren't just selling Nissan cars and trucks. We were giving our customers what they wanted, great deals. And after 35 years, our customers are still coming back, not just for the great selection of cars and trucks, but for the same reason it started back in 1966, a great deal.
Lots of things have changed except for one.
Remember, nobody will make you a better deal in Barwick, and I mean nobody.
This Thanksgiving weekend, you start saving big. Get instant discounts on everything you buy instantly with any purchase over $200. From $25 all the way up to $500 in instant discounts. Get your holiday shopping done early because all of your purchases add up to create your very own sale. The instant you buy a big screen TV, digital camcorder, DVD, or a home theater system, you get up to a $500 discount instantly. The more you buy, the more you save instantly. Better stuff, fiercely competitive prices, good guys.
Bay.com.
It's Ford's Thanksgiving Sellathon. This year, Ford sold more cars and trucks in Southern California than anyone. And we're saying thanks by continuing to offer interest-free financing on 2001 and 2002 vehicles. Don't miss the Ford Thanksgiving Sellathon. Make sure you get the car, truck, or SUV you want, because with interest-free financing, these Fords are going fast.
Is a special presentation of Fox Sports Net.
It's full contact. It's college football Saturday.